Really proud of the way we responded, not necessarily in the first half, but there was a ton of confidence and positivity in that locker room at halftime, and we obviously needed that. And boy, our defense came out, lifted our spirits, and got the ball back to our offense, and we finally started blocking people and running the football and making great decisions and putting the ball in the end zone, protecting it as well. And it's just a credit to our kids and our coaching staff for making the necessary adjustments at halftime, but also for our kids for buying into the culture and buying into their training on how to respond to adversity. And most of it obviously self-inflicted, and we've obviously got to play cleaner for 4 quarters. We can't continue to live on the edge like this, but I'm going to celebrate this one because we're banged up, we're tired, and we fought like I've never seen them fight, and that was very encouraging to see.
Tom, what were the at least on defense? What were the adjustments? You know, they I think it was only 29 yards total offense for them in the second half, and you guys forced 4 turnovers.
Well, we played more sound. You know, I thought Coach Orlando and the staff, there wasn't really a whole lot of change in the calls other than let's get lined up fast, let's get lined up to the formations. Obviously, the tempo that they play at, a lot of the errors in the first half were just getting lined up. And so we just played a lot of base defense on first and second down and let our kids go play. And they got off blocks, and we got after the quarterback and shut the run down. And when you do those things, good things happen.
Tom, was there anything specific you said to your guys, your players, at the half in that situation?
I just reminded them that of the tools that we've been preaching for 2 years, and then really re-emphasizing this past week the tools that they're given on how to respond, and which is, you know, recognize the issue at hand. And I defined the issue for them. One was the turnovers on the offense, and on defense it was getting lined up. And I told them there's no 18-point play. It's a matter of responding play after play after play and being mindful and intentional with your thoughts and actions, and knowing that every play is its own entity. For 6 seconds, you have to have a singular focus, a laser-like focus on what your job is, executing that job. When the play is over, good or bad, when the play is over, take a deep breath, get the signal from the sideline, and go do it again. And our guys responded.
Tom, you talked this week about how this team maybe hadn't had the experience of coming out, getting hit in the mouth, having to respond to adversity. Do you feel like they've learned some of those things through this game today?
Oh, we grew up, man. We grew up immensely, and not necessarily effort. Effort's never been a question with us. It was just, how do I do my job when faced with adversity, and not panic and not freak out, and continue to have great body language, continue to go out and execute my job. And yeah, I think they grew up a lot, and we talked all week. You know, in my opinion, Mike Tyson had it wrong when he said everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. You don't walk into a heavyweight fight and think you're not going to get punched in the mouth. You got to have a plan for when you do get punched in the mouth. And I think our guys did a great job of going back to that plan at halftime and executing it in the second half.
Tom, when you look at how things started, and then I guess the game before, so kind of 6 quarters worth, I mean, do you worry about, was there a hangover effect? Was it something that, you know, just confidence seeping in, or lack of it from the previous game? Or can you kind of encapsulate, you know, maybe the last few weeks and maybe why things have either been slow or?
Yeah, I think I think there's a big difference in playing not to lose and playing to win. And I think, we've got such good kids on this team and pleasers and perfectionists that, they want to do right all the time. And we finally, I think, the message finally sunk in that things aren't always going to go well, and the worst thing you can do is press and to try to do things outside of your training. And so, and some of it, I mean, who was it? Chance slips on a slant, and when the ball's in the air and it goes right into the guy's hand. We get another ball batted, and it's intercepted. So it wasn't, that we were, that we had some unfortunate things happen to us early that could have been devastating, and our guys continued to fight, and I don't expect, if that happens again, at least we know that what we're capable of and how to fix it and how to respond. But you don't anticipate a guy slipping. You don't anticipate a guy at D lineman times a jump perfectly and bats a ball. So we'll correct the things that need to get corrected, but we got to go out from the word jump and play to win and not play to not lose.
Tom, could you explain the intentional grounding rule?
What I was told was that because he is not the person that takes the snap on the one that was called on us, that whether he's outside the pocket or not does not matter, that he has to throw it in the direction of an eligible receiver. I thought he did, and they said it needed to be closer, and that's the explanation they gave to me. And then on theirs, there at the end, they told me that I guess there was a receiver trying to come back to the ball. The ball never crossed the line of scrimmage either. So I guess it didn't matter as long as they had a receiver coming back to the ball. I was a bit perplexed myself. I'm going to have to go reread the rules. We good? Oh.
Tom, one more if you could. I know you said after the last game that you have to look at your short-term goals. Can't look at big picture, but with what you're trying to accomplish now, how critical was the third and fourth quarters to stage this comeback?
Well, I think
season, for what you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, I think it's one of the biggest, if not the biggest, wins in our program's history. And I say that because we had our backs against the wall as far back as you can get, and we were getting beat down by ourselves most of the time, but we were reeling, and to be able to come out swinging in the second half, I think should give us a lot of confidence, especially going into the bye week, to get rested, to heal. Hopefully we can get a lot of key players back, and the ones that are fighting through some nagging stuff, get them healthy and fresh to go win a football game in 2 weeks.
How's Bonner?
He had a grade 2 separation of his shoulder, and so I would imagine he'll be ready in 2 weeks.
Tom, you already alluded to it, the fact about getting the guys getting away. Exactly what are you just going to tell these guys? I know you talk about them being in the building and buying into it. Is this a few days for you to tell them to kick them out of the building and stay out of here and just get your mind on some other things? And get
I think rest is important. So we won't have any activity tomorrow other than come in. If you played in the game, you got to check in with the trainers from 12 to 2. So we'll let them sleep in. And then Monday, no activity as far as on the field activity. We've got a light lift, but we got to be in the building to get our bodies right. And it's where our training room is. It's where our weight room is. It's where our coaches are. It's where our family is. So I want them to be in the building, but the activity level is going to be at a very, very minimum so that our bodies can heal up and we can be fresh moving forward.
Tom, your last 2 touchdowns were sparked by Brandon Wilson plays the interception, and then he forces the fumble. One, just to get him back. I mean, you've had him back a couple weeks now, but it seemed like that's the first game that he's kind of
made an impact.
Made an impact.
Yeah, really. excited for him in the second half that he played. Again, being a captain, being one of our better players as well, it was nice to get him in the flow and him have a big play. He needed that. You could tell that he was happy, genuinely happy, not for himself to have made the play, but that he could impact the team's outcome in a positive way, and that he could be there for his teammates. And it was really good to see it happen to one of my favorite guys on the team.
And one real quick on the injuries, Adam still the shoulder.
Yeah, hopefully I don't anticipate it lasting longer than 2 weeks. I think we'll probably give him this week off as well, and then get him ready the week directly in front of Tulane.
Would you try to get Bowser back by Tulane? Or
I think that's a definite possibility. Yeah, he was running around this past few days with no equipment on, but running around getting conditioned, and he gets checked up every few days to see how that thing's healing. So I think maybe by the end of the week we can put a helmet on him, and going into next week have him. From what I understand, barring any setbacks, we'll have him practice in and see how well he does in practice.
Tom, do you think that with the way things have gone now, that this team can maybe play a little bit looser and just go out and play to win?
I sure hope so.
Worried about style points or anything like, or how bad you have to beat an opponent, or perception, anything like that?
I sure hope so. And again, I go back to it's a good problem to have, and I say that because it's a problem that's born of guys really, really caring, and guys really wanting to do their part to help this team and this program win football games. And I'd much rather have this problem of pressing and trying to do too much than a team than have the problem of lack of effort and lack of energy. But I do think, to answer your question, that I think these guys hopefully will have finally seen that the way to go out and play your game and to win football games is to play loose, is to play without any self-doubt, without any kind of pressing, without any kind of self-inflicted pressure, but to just trust your training and the way that you've been trained, but also trust the guy next to you that he's doing his part, and then good things are going to happen.